What does this mean for Tampa?
They're trying to keep this thing together. They're trying to keep this train on the tracks as long as they possibly can, Skip. But this is the loophole that I don't know who started this with the voidable year, Skip. So basically, they took the money they were supposed to make this year, probably $25 million. They gave it to him in the form of a signing bonus, gave him minimum salary, added another year, but voided 3 of those years. So basically, this year and next year, he's under contract. And you look at the number, it's probably what? His probably cap number this year is probably, Skip, $6 million.
Oh, I was going to say 0. It's close.
Because Skip, what they did is that when you prorate $19 million over 4 years, and then you give him a base.
For those who don't get it, you divvy it up.
Right. So you give him a $20 million. So you get $20 million signing bonus. You're going to divvy that up. So that's $5 million, $5 million, $5 million, $5 million.
Those are counting against those caps.
Right.
All
plus
the way out.
Plus his base salary. So,
but the years are voided.
Right. So what they're doing, Skip, I don't know if you remember this. You remember the NFL had an uncapped year. And what teams did, Dallas Cowboys and the Washington football team lost a lot of money because the NFL said, we don't want you to dump all your money in the uncapped years. Washington and Dallas said, bull jive, we're dumping it. And they ended up losing one lost like $38 million, the other lost $20 million in cap space because they did that. What they're doing now is they're finding this loophole with voidable years, Skip. We're prorated, knowing good well those years are going to get voided, but we've already prorated and saved it against the cap this year and possibly next. I like the move, Skip. I'm going to try, like I said, they're trying to keep this train on the tracks as long as they possibly can. And they know as long as they got that guy, Tom Brady, they have an excellent chance of getting to and winning Super Bowls. But the only thing is that how do we keep this group together? And right now, they're off to a great start. Levante David has re-signed. Now, with $19 million in cap space, Skip, now they can turn their attention to you-know-who, Shaq Barrett.
I think you were just disingenuous.
What?
I think you were less than truthful. You said, I like this move. I think you hate this move.
No. I like, Skip, I'm all for players. I don't care how you do it. You can have my cap number at 50 cents. As long as you give me my money, I don't care nothing about no cap. Players don't care nothing about the cap, Skip. You and the front office care about this cap. The players want their cheese.
Except for this player. I told you 2 shows ago, the Bucs have a not-so-secret cap weapon, and his name is Tom Brady. And I told you, warned you, that Tom Brady, was about to drop a little bombshell on your head. And he just dropped it right on time because they're going to need this starting Monday or need it over the weekend to finish off a potential Shaq Barrett deal.
Correct.
And it's going to be a big deal because he said publicly, it's time for me to break the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also time for him to continue living in Tampa, playing for Bruce Arians with Tom Brady with no state income tax.
Woo.
That's what you have going for you in that situation.
Yes.
And you have the whole concept of let's do it again.
So, because Skip, you're willing to give $10, $15 million because you're going to make it up in state taxes that you get to save.
Okay. So there's one quarterback who said his whole career, I'll take less, I'll take less, I'll take less. Nobody else does this.
Right.
Mahomes sort of did it.
Right.
Maybe in the small picture he did it because his deal is heavily backloaded.
Right.
But he tried to make it palatable for his team in the first 3 years to continue to surround him with good players.
Because when the new TV deal hits, which will be the 3rd year, this deal going to look like, man, Patrick Mahomes only making $45 million?
Okay, so I told you the other day, given Brady's mentality, given the Brady method in New England when he just took less, and they won 6 Super Bowls, maybe not because of it, but it had to be some contributing factor. We kept saying, well, what's he doing with the money? Because we can't really see where's all the talent, where's the juggernaut? I don't know.
But what it did, Skip, is that it kept the cost down for the other players.
It did.
And so now, instead of having 1 or 2 big-ticket free agents on the defensive side, Coach Belichick was able to assemble a lot of medium-tier to lower-tier guys. And so now, because that's where that money, you spend $25 million, you spend $18 million on 2 defensive players, so that's $36 million. And you got to pay. If Tom was getting what he would be like, now we scrapped all our money. Because if you look at the Kansas City, Skip, their money tied up at like 5 players. The 3 offensive guys and the 2 defensive guys. That's where all your money's at. And you got 53. You got to field a team of 53.
That is correct. So now I told you, it's like, why would Tom Brady want a nickel? He doesn't need the money. He needs the legacy.
Right.
What's his goal? Is to win 8.
He's trying to put the Super Bowl. He's put it out there like Bill Russell. He's trying to do what Bill Russell did in basketball.
That's a good analogy.
Nobody.
Yeah.
If I get to 8, if I get to 9, ain't nobody getting that many. I don't care how long you play, you'll never get that many. In basketball, I don't care how long you play, you're not getting 11 championships.
And not to put Mr. Russell in any negative light, but I believe their degree of difficulty was lower than Tom Brady's has been in this league at this time.
It's a different time. They had 8 teams, Skip.
Yeah, that's correct. And they had it all in Boston. Yeah. Man. They were the best team by far, to me.
Out of 12 players, one year they had 9 Hall of Famers on the roster, a roster of 12. So I don't know if that's good or not, but.
But the greatest thing about Mr. Russell was what do we give him, 6'8", maybe?
Yeah, 6'8", 6'9".
Maybe. He dominated 7'1" Wilt Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
He dominated him mentally and psychologically. So I give you that.
Yeah.
Back to Tom Brady. So now this throws open the possibility that, boy, they can keep just about everybody.
Yeah.
So if they keep Shaq Barrett, then can they figure out Leonard Fournette? Maybe.
He's the least of that. I mean, Skip, you can find somebody to do what Leonard Fournette do. I mean, he's not Derrick Henry.
No,
and you don't need Derrick Henry in that system.
But I think Tom loved him.
Yeah.
Playoff Lenny. And I think Tom would like to keep that 1-2 punch of him and Ronald Jones.
This is what Tom Brady loved. You work hard. You know what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
I love you.
Yep.
Because you're going to help me win.
Yep.
Skip, I don't want Tom Brady. I want somebody to beat him. You got, because I don't want, if Tom Brady had to, because I know it's going to happen, the same thing that happened with Jordan. Jordan walked away for those 2 years, and everybody said if he hadn't walked away, he'd have won 6 straight. I don't want that with Tom. Y'all got to beat the man and make him go home. Don't let the man just like, man, I'm tired of beating you guys. I'm tired of beating you bums. I mean, I'm going home. I ain't even got no competition out here.
That's not going to happen.
Exactly. So I don't want that.
You're going to have to send him home.
Yes, send his butt home.
Yep. Okay. So the only odd man out that I can see right now would be Sue. Mm-hmm. Because he does have some mercenary in him, and he's got his championship. He's played in 2. So now he says, pay me. Mm-hmm. Maybe Dallas. Right. I don't know. Somebody, I'm sure somebody will be able to offer him more than Tampa will.
Skip, I think, well, here's the thing. Can somebody, he's going to want this time, like, man, I've been playing on 1-year deals for the last 3 years. Can I get a 2-year deal?
Maybe.
Can I get a 2-year deal? I want to know I'm going to be somewhere and not have to bother. Because if I'm not mistaken, Skip, I had him on my podcast, I think his wife is expecting twins. I think he's expecting twins in the very, very near future. So he probably wants to get somewhere and settle down. Now, he's going to make I think his full-time residence is in Oregon, Portland.
Yep.
But Tampa's a nice place to have a second home.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So they have to deal with Gronk, obviously, and Antonio Brown. So how much will they cost?
Yeah, pay Gronk $4 or $5 million.
So would you bet on both being Buccaneers next year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like it's run it back time.
Yeah.
Right?
You try, hey, if you clear the cap space that they're clearing up and you can do it, because a lot of times, Skip, you're like, we like to run it back. Well, we really don't want the guy. We say that, Skip, because we don't want to make him feel bad because we just accomplished something special. They sincerely want these guys back. They want Shaq Barrett back. They wanted Levante David back. They want Gronk. They want
said
AB.
It publicly.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, Skip, you say that publicly, be like, nah, we good. We good.
Well, you know what Aaron said at the parade or the big celebration, remember?
Yeah.
Your ass ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
He said it to Levante and he said it to Shaq.
Well, you know, sometimes, Skip, he was on that, he was on that avocado tequila too.
Maybe.
So, you know, him and Tom, the only thing
He may
was...
sip that on a daily basis.
Yeah. He just there throw the trophy from boat to boat.
Yeah.
And he didn't need a security guard to stand him upright to come out the facility.
So are you now finally coming full circle to agree with me? There's one man in sports you do not bet against, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. Are you there? It sounds like you're there.
Skip, they cleared up space. Look, and I said it. If you got $20 million for Shaq, Shaq gonna stay. But if you thought he was gonna stay for like 17, 18 to stay, it looks like, Skip, they're gonna be able to get close to what anybody else could have given him. And plus the luxury that they have, warm weather and no state income tax. Well, I don't know where if you going to Dallas, if you're going somewhere in Dallas or Vegas doesn't have any state income tax. Does Arizona? I mean, you got to look at Tennessee. There are only a handful of states that don't have state income tax.
So are you ready to publicly concede the Buccaneers should be the favorites going into next year?
I said, Skip, I said that after the Super Bowl.
You did?
I did.
But you thought that they were going to lose Shaq. You already
Yes.
told me. You said no Shaq and no Levante.
Yes, yes.
And now it's looking like both.
Both, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I said, well, obviously, if they had lost Shaq and Levante David, I don't think they should have been the favorite. But I think they should have been the favorite because they were still there. Now, we would assess that once the guys leave via free agency. But I've always thought it was unfair to a team. We beat the Packers in the Super Bowl, Skip, in '97, and the next day they were favored to win next year. So I'm like, well, what did we just beat them?
It was a huge upset.
I'm like, well, you say Tom Brady was a huge upset.
Road. 3 road wins and 1 home Super Bowl win. Which he circled and said, I'm going to go do that.
Well, it theoretically wasn't a road because there was really no fans.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.